Now, liberals, from what he's saying, the president is interested
in signing the bill,
in seeing that the electoral process is enhanced. That's what he said. But from the conversations going on and from what you said so far, it doesn't look like that's the situation.
Yeah, it's those statements are political statements. It's unfortunate, very unfortunate. If you remember, when Yar'Adua, President Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua came on board, he identified that the election that brought him to office was flawed. And so the first thing he did, as somebody who's interested in elevating or ensuring that the process is transparent and credible, he set up a committee that it's notoriously known today as the Ways Electoral Reform Committee, to make recommendations. And these recommendations, then the APC were in opposition. And so it became a sing-song for the opposition party. Oh yes, Ways panel report, Ways panel report, Ways panel report. And one would have expected that Ways is still alive. The report is still there. One would have expected, haven't identified all of this ding-dong back and forth, sending bill back and forth. One would have expected that there should be, even if it's a 6-man committee, 3 from the National Assembly, the Electoral Reform Committee, and 3 from the executive. Sit down and harmonize all the gray areas. Then we will, be done with all of this, send forth and back. The moment you begin to play ping pong with the bill, the impression it gives the ordinary man on the street is that, look, these people know what they are doing and they are really not serious. Because if you truly want to progress, I don't see why you can't sit down in a round table and iron out these gray areas. In 2 hours you are done, and then all the issues are resolved and taken back to the committee. It's as simple as that.
Is it as simple as that?
It's as simple as that. Because also, apart from that, even the Buhari administration, remember, set up the Ken Nnamani Electoral Reform Committee. Ken Nnamani is still alive. He's a member of the party. And so, and he was a member of the National Assembly. So that makes it, that puts him in a position that will be able to negotiate for and on behalf of the government. And so, for the benefit of our electoral practice and processes. And so, if we're truly sincere about moving the electoral processes forward, we shouldn't be hiding under this, or we read the bill carefully and all of those things. If it is the bill that concerns them, you never hear that, oh, the budget came back and forth, But we're talking about election. And do you know that the greatest form of corruption is denying a man the right and opportunity to elect who governs him? And so also, the only way you can move Nigeria forward transparently, it's if you march towards a transparent and credible election. But otherwise, if your elections are faulty, do you know the implication of having a wrong man at the helm of affairs? For even one day, he will take decisions, he's going to sign bills, he's going to earn salaries that are merited. And, the multiplying effects, are so enormous that it's not something you can even imagine. And so that's why I feel, I'm not saying the bill, is one medicine cure-all, but it's a step in the right direction. If the government didn't want an amendment to the Electoral Act, they would have just said, look, the Electoral Act, the way it is fantastic.
Let's look at the options now, because the INEC boss himself, Mahmoud, has nursed some degree of fear that we might, at some point, if this doesn't work out as expected, revert to the 2010 Electoral Amendment Bill.
The way we are going, we're going to use that act.
What will then happen? Because this will now reduce the elections to what we have already experienced in 2015.
Yeah, the 2010 Electoral Act, there are flaws, but be that as it may, it's still okay. For me, if we wanted to use the 2010 Electoral Act, yeah, we should have, geared our mind towards it that, look, this is, the end of it. There's no need for this pretense, to amending the Electoral Act. But like we know, the 2010 Electoral Act does not recognize the use of the technology that we have introduced. And then also, you remember INEC had said that they were going to take the card reader a notch further. Mind you, they also said that they were going to ensure that data, accreditation, collation of results are done simultaneously from the polling unit and the collation center. So as you are doing accreditation, you're transmitting you know, let's not give room for mischief maker who are going to challenge results on flimsy excuses to say, look, these are not accommodated in our electoral laws. These are alien to our electoral laws, and so to that extent, whatever technology that is introduced or innovated to enhance the process does not have foundation basis, you know, in our laws. So that's why, to me, the first step would have been, you sit down, what are those innovations we want to accommodate? And then both parties sit, they're the same government, the same party. Both parties sit down, and then, you know, you reduce them into writing, and then you find a way of infusing them, you know, into the new amendment. And that would have solved a lot of problems. But a situation where the opposition of the party is itself, just the same way the PDP's greatest opposition there was itself. And so you now begin to ask, where is the room of ideology, of similar ideology in all of this? You know, where the president said, anybody that emerged as a leader of the National Assembly, I will work with. But a leader emerged and they couldn't work together. He couldn't work with him. So these are some of the problems that we're facing today. But I would advise, I would admonish that they drop their personal interest for this purpose of, you know, writing their name in the sand, in gold, in the sand of time, to say, look, whatever it is, it's about Nigeria, it's about moving the nation forward. Let's sit down, let's find a way of sitting down, harmonize all the gray areas, and then move on.
Can anything be done between now?
I doubt if anything can be done, because now it's we're already in the campaign, and, you know, issues, mods, and, you know, all of that are going to be thrown up. And so even as we speak now, I remember recently the National Assembly had to adjourn for oversight function. So I wonder when they'll be able to sit down, harmonize, and then send to the president.
The document is with the president right now.
No, I don't think so, because the National Assembly, Senate had passed the electoral. The last time I heard of it was that the House of Rep. We're still looking at.
No, right now,
okay.
I believe it's with the president.